in the lungs. You wanna hit this shit?
Killer, Dipset, Check my stats, man. 78. I got to be the best living, man. You already know. Like Alex Trebek, you're in jeopardy. Yes, sir, we got the recipe. Give you a tech, but nope, not a referee. Like why?
What? You want it to be one way?
Man, I don't
want it to be one way.
Man, stop.
But it's the other way.
How much do you need?
231.
How about more?
32 million.
I need an extra man.
I came to you for a loan.
Look, have I ever gotten you anything that I couldn't get you out of? It's time for you to do something for your family.
You want to drive or can I drive?
Bank robbery suspects have taken an ambulance.
I got a cop shot. Gotta get him to the hospital.
We doing hostages now? I came to you for a loan.
You're my brother. Have I ever gotten you anything that I couldn't get you?
YouTube. We back in the Low Key Cave, Keyshawn Nine's YouTube page, aka Mr. Low Key, and we are back with another movie review. And we got Michael Bay's new action movie, Ambulance, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. Yeah, man, this one right here, like I said, when you're going into a Michael Bay movie, I mean, are you knowing what you're expecting to get? I mean, going off this trailer, a lot of people should have known what they was gonna get going into here. Before we get into it, plot-wise, you pretty much have Will, which is played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, whose character Will is pretty much trying to get a certain amount of money for his wife who needs this type of surgery, but just so happened it's experimental surgery, so insurance can't pay for it. So he goes to his brother, Danny, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. Danny is a live wire. Danny is out here, but they are brothers. So I'm guessing, and I don't know, they don't really, to me, go into detail about this, but I'm pretty sure they have had jobs before, they have done things before, because it's at a point where Will pretty much tells Danny that, yo, even if I was going to come to do a job, it was going to be a small one. So my thing was, okay, they have done these things before, I've done this, but I think the indication is they're not really with Will, but of course you already know of sorts with Jake Gyllenhaal, but I'm not going to get into real spoilers or anything like that as far as Jake Gyllenhaal's character Danny, but their father, both of them, as far as Will and Danny's father, has a history of bank robberies. That's pretty much what you get with this story as far as Danny and Will. The only thing with Will that he is a veteran out of war, as far as in the army or whatnot. He's a war hero, so his whole thing is, like I said, trying to get this money for his wife to get this experiment that she needs. As far as experiment surgery, that's what they calling it. That's Michael Bay, right? Experiment surgery that insurance can't pay for. So he goes to his brother Danny. And like I said, they are brothers. They have a history together. They grew up together. They don't go into super details about if it was adoption or this and the third, like I said, because even in the movie, it's somebody who we like, well, you know he's black, right? I'm like, oh, duh, that's, even them, they got a line where that's original. And I'm like, who didn't see that shit? But anyway, man, as far as the movie go, you pretty much have Will going to Danny, and Danny pretty much asking Will to come on him as far as a job, a heist job. And one thing I will say, man, is I'm glad that we never really got heist movies from Michael Bay. I think we had some. I ain't gonna include The Rock, but I'm just saying, man, overall, I just feel like when it comes to heist movies, it's a certain thing you can do with them. And it's been a long time since we had a really good heist movie. And you have Michael Bay coming in here pretty much trying to do his best with what he got as far as Ambulance and trying to make his best 90s action heist movie. You talking about Michael Mann's Heat. You talking about Speed with Keanu Reeves. Yeah, you talking about the Die Hards with Bruce Willis. So you get those type of elements from this movie. And another thing I'm gonna say is Michael Bay loves drone cameras. You talking about a movie where you see a drone camera zooming around everything. I mean, I don't really know if they got a scene in the trailer, but if you watching it like I'm watching it right now, the camera is literally just zooming around places. And if you watching this in IMAX, your ass might be sick. I'm just being honest. You probably gonna end up being sick. But it's just the sequences, because it's a scene where the drone, and he's using a drone camera where it's just zooming around this building. The building, I guess they are robbing or whatever, but they're not even showing no action. See, the drone literally zooming around the building and going straight down. I'm like, what the hell are we in? A Carowinds ride or something? For you don't know about Carowinds, Carowinds is in North Carolina. It's an amusement park similar to something like Disney World. But anyway, I'm just saying, man, Michael Bay loved the hell out of that drone camera. Another thing with Michael Bay movies is a lot of his action scenes, ever since he did Transformers movies, they look like a Transformers action scene. The explosions, all of that, everything looks like a scene out of Transformers. I damn sure was waiting for Optimus Prime to pop out of nowhere, or one of these damn if the ambulance or the police cars to turn into a Transformer, like straight up. These scenes, these action scenes, look like they about to turn into a Transformer movie. I'm not trying to get away from the movie Ambulance. I'm just saying I'm getting all these little critiques out the way. But with all that being said, honestly, I still enjoyed this movie somewhat. One thing I will say is, Yahya Abdul-Majeed's Will, as far as his acting, him and Jake Gyllenhaal, as far as Danny, they carry the movie. Is they acting. One thing I will say about Jake Gyllenhaal, he had a hell of a time with this movie. You can tell he had fun. His character, Danny, is damn sure over the top. He's super over the top. He got certain lines in here. And that's another thing, Michael Bay. I don't know if this was a 90s thing or whatever, but you have Michael Bay making so many references to his other movies. The Rock, Bad Boy, like man, once again, the dialogue in here is 90s dialogue. And I ain't talking about, Michael Mann had decent dialogue in his movies. I'm talking about that Commando Arnold Schwarzenegger action movies dialogue. I'm just saying, man, be warned. But we have another character in here, MIT Cam. She's the person that pretty much has, and I'm not going to spoil how they get to the ambulance, because the movie just showing you today in this ambulance, and that's one thing I was trying to figure out was, how are they going to play this out with them being in the ambulance the whole entire movie? Some way they did. Well, Michael Bay figured it out. Not saying it was the smartest way, but he figured it out. That's all I'm going to say. But she is one of the characters that is on the ambulance once they get to it. And once again, I'm going to say this, they don't start off automatically in the ambulance. A whole heist going down. And that's another reason why I said I'm glad we haven't got a Michael Bay heist movie, because if this how he do his heist movies, everybody looks stupid. Everybody look retarded. But I will say this, maybe that's because this is 2022, and it's even somebody in this movie that says people still rob banks, because it's like, you know how much technology is out here, you know how much is out here where you're going to get caught. I don't care who you is, you got to be a super genius, somebody with some tech that can like block out all type of signals of this and the third, because one thing I will get a movie credit for, they even go into the details as far as the tech, as far as finding all these type of details out, as far as when the heist going down. Before the heist even really going down, they have certain information, like everything is going into place, and they showing these certain technicals, or they showing these certain ways of finding these criminals, as far as the people trying to rob the bank or whatever. They finding all type of ways, man, and this bears the question, well, like, how would you even make a bank robbery movie, a heist movie in this day and age, with all the technology they got? And they really do go into detail about that in this movie, and that will get them credit for that. But besides that, like I said, as far as the EMT Cam, she's one of the people that ends up being going along for the ride, as far as Danny and Will, once they do get a hold of the ambulance. The cops, we have two main cops that end up coming in here. I don't know their character's name. I ain't even gonna front, man. To me, they wasn't interesting characters enough to have their name. They was really cliche, especially the older veteran cop, very much cliche. And the other one, this newcomer coming in, he does have some type of connection with the characters. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to say who it is, but he does have some type of connection with them. And they do kind of go into detail with that. And I did give that somewhat of an interesting point. But once again, it was kind of taking it back to those 90 cliche tropes as far as heist movies, especially when it came to cops. One thing I will say is, I mean, they done that before too, I feel like, in heist movies, but it was a lot of casualties, and I was like, oh, I didn't expect that person to go out that way, or I didn't expect that person to go out that way. One thing I will say is, once this movie started, even from the trailer, I can say, I knew how this movie was going to end. I knew how this movie was going to end. I knew what was going to happen to who and how it was going to go. I knew exactly how this movie was going to end. Because once again, I'm going to say this, and I feel like this is not giving nothing away. You know those type of movies where you have these brothers, and you know that you got that real crazy brother that's all out there to do it. This don't matter, don't give a damn about anything. Then you had a real calm and collected brother. They play on that a lot in this movie, man. And to me, just off the beginning, it was like, okay, I know where this is going. I know exactly where this is going, man. But action scenes, once again, Michael Bay, you see these explosions, it looks like almost fireworks, and once again, it looks like a Transformer movies. You see this, and that's only thing I was saying as far as the action scenes, which they do have some decent action scenes in here, but I feel like this movie wanted to be speed so bad. It really wanted to be speed, not minus the bus, but just with an ambulance. It really wanted to be speed. With all that being said, man, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II and Jake Gyllenhaal, I'm sorry if I didn't say his name wrong. As far as I did. But Will and Danny, they very much carried this movie. They carried this movie as far as they acting. Jake Gyllenhaal's character Danny, he is over the top. He is over the top, but they do carry this movie because they do have chemistry. One thing I can't complain about, and I'm not really complaining about anything, I'm just giving you the critiques as far as how Michael Bay does his movies. And ever since Transformers, he pretty much stayed with this routine. The one he had on Netflix recently, 6 Underground, like that. But this has just a little bit better story. And I said this before, I wish Michael Bay would kind of go back to what he did with Pain and Gain. You know, with Mark Wahlberg and The Rock. That, like, he kind of like, it was loose, and The Rock's character, the way he played that role, that's one of The Rock's best roles, by the way. But I really like that, and I wish he'd kind of go back to that formula, and he kind of would dive into some good storytelling, like I said, but I don't know, man. And I'm not saying this is a bad movie. It's straight. It's straight for what it is, but like I said, it plays so much off those cliche 90s movies. That's the thing, man, like I said, and honestly, the main characters we really following are the EMT is Cam as far as the young lady, and we following Danny and Will as far as Yahya Abdul-Mateen's character, the second, and Jake Gyllenhaal's character. And like I said, we do get these little flashback images of them when they was kids or whatever, man. And like I said, we don't even get no voiceovers. You get that traditional Michael Bay. And what is it with Michael Bay with this glare that he always has to do with his movie? He has to have some type of sun glare just coming off things, making it look extra bright or whatever. Man, I don't know. I ain't saying I'm complaining, but it's just like, once again, it takes you to those Transformers movies, and it makes you feel like you watching this whole other movie that ain't got nothing to do with Transformers, but you waiting on the Autobot to come out of nowhere. I'm just saying, with all that once again being said, I can't say I enjoyed following Danny and Will. They have their moments, and once again, all I'm gonna say is the chemistry does not go away. You don't feel like, oh, I can't believe they not brothers. I don't believe they brothers. One thing you will say is, okay, I believe they brothers. They have that chemistry, and I will give them credit for that as far as they acting and being able to make it believable that you believe that these two individuals are brothers. The flashbacks didn't make you believe that, but them, as far as being adults, made you believe it, because the flashbacks was like, what is? Stop, man. You don't even have to do this. With all that being said, once again, I seen this end coming. Shout out to Wale. Wale is in this movie too, man. I will get that away. Wale is in the movie, man, and he does what he has a little decent role in here, man. He's pretty much the comedy relief. That's what I would say, and that's all I'm gonna say about Wale. And he has, when I first seen him, I was like, okay, this probably gonna be his one and done as far as the scene. But nah, he in here a lot more than I thought he was. So shout out to Wale. But overall, like I said, man, it's that 90s action movie. Michael Bay definitely wanted to write his love letter to the 90s action films, and he did this with this one. Like I said, if you have seen those type of movies, 90s, like I said, Speed, Michael Mann's Heat, the Die Hard movies, then you know what you're getting into. And like I said, that whole thing with you had these movies about these brothers, you had that one crazy brother, and the one that seems like he's got it under control or somewhat, you kind of can tell what is going towards the end. And that's how I felt about it. I seen it coming, and that ending happened. It did happen the way I thought it was going to happen. But anyway, y'all can let me know how y'all feel about the new movie by Michael Bay called Ambulance. Like I said, I just had to get my little critiques out as far as how Michael Bay directs his movie, because it reminded me of Transformers, but in a way where I was kind of expecting it to, because even off the trailers, those images they shown as far as the action scenes, the explosions, all that, it reminded you of Transformers. That's how it looked. Like I said, it looked like a fireworks explosion, these sparks and whatever going all over the place. But I'm going to say this, it still didn't take me out the movie. It was just silly moments. Heist movie, you supposed to have some type of smartness going on, and they do one thing where they try to go into detail as far as Danny's character, Jake Gyllenhaal's character. I'm not gonna say what they say, but with all the things they say about him and this and the third, it's like, well, I still don't see this. I just don't see it. And then, like I said, you have these cops that's supposed to be top notch as far as heists go. They supposed to know all the ins and outs, especially in this new day and age. But everybody seems like they kind of slow. And I think that's the way the movie portrays it, though, because it's trying to beat on that 90s thing. But, nigga, we in 2022. This shit, like, you thinking about all this technology and everything else, like, no, you couldn't do this. This wouldn't go down like this. No, not in 2022. But like I said, man, if y'all had a chance to check out the new movie by Michael Bay called Ambulance, you let me know how y'all feel about it in the comment section, man. Other than that, man, I will say I'll probably get this a second viewing. You know, these one of these action movies I can catch. Like I said back in the day, you talk about like Steven Seagal, Marked for Death or something like that. I ain't gonna give it. It ain't really in that type of realm as far as those action movies. Like I said, I would say like the Speeds, Die Hards or whatever, and even a little bit of Commando or Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm just saying, man, overall. But once again, y'all let me know in the comment section. If y'all had a chance to see this, let me know how y'all feel about it. If you haven't, do you plan on seeing Michael Bay's new movie, Ambulance? Once again, I will say this. Y'all doing Matisse acting and Jake Gyllenhaal's acting very much kept me in the movie. It did. And even the young lady, I can't think of the actress name, but the EMT Cam, she did a good job. And she really did, man. She did a good job. So I will say that they very much carried the movie, and you wanted to keep going along with this ride just because of the chemistry between Jake Gyllenhaal's Danny and Yahya Matisse's Will character. But other than that, man, like I said, y'all let me know if y'all plan on checking this out. And if you have checked this out, let me know how y'all feel about it. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is the road to 500 subs. Shout out to everybody who's taking the time just to check me out. A new episode of Uncut Ish Talk Friday, 9 p.m. live on YouTube and Twitch. Make sure you come through and check us out live.
Have I ever gotten you anything that I couldn't get you out of?
Lock everything down.
We're just trying to get home.
We don't get to walk off into the sunset.
I have a plan!
Police are following these two suspects.
Gotta chill out. Gotta chill out.
Hit me up.
What's going on in
I don't want
there?
to hear anything else about kilos or prices. Y'all want to go out on your own? Fine. But do not for 1 second fuck around with what I got to do to get mine. Because I promise you, there is nothing I'm not prepared to do.